Hey everybody, Jeff Brady here with one more edition of Bloomin' in the Branch. This is our monthly video segment that gives you tips on how to keep your garden green, or your trees, or your rose beds, or in this case, your grass, because it's spring and so that means the grass is growing and it's time to mow. So we're going to focus on when and how to mow that grass. And once again, we're lucky enough to have the benefit of the wisdom of Ben Solis, our park supervisor. Ben, thanks again for helping us out here.
Sure.
So regarding grass, how high should your grass be when you mow it, and how much should you mow?
Okay, so by now you've probably already cut all the dead off your lawn.
You probably mowed it at least once
At least.
so far.
And so you want to keep it to where on Bermuda a little higher than what most recommend. What we do is it should be 1 to 2 inches on Bermuda. We do 1.5 to 2 inches, maybe a little more. And on St. Augustine, it's normally 3 to 4 inches, 3.5 to 4 inches.
4 inches tall, that's some high grass.
It is tall, but the reason you're doing that is to try to shade the soil. So we're lowering the temperature of the soil, and that's going to help with the water that you've put on it to help save that. So you don't go through the evaporation process so fast, and that's going to save you money. Also, the weed seeds need a lot of sun to actually germinate. And so we're going to shade them to where they won't grow as fast.
So fewer weeds.
That's right. And that also will cut down perhaps on your chemical use and not have to work on killing those.
Right.
And one thing you do want to concentrate on is not cutting more than 1/3 of the blade each time you mow.
So the blade of grass.
The blade of grass, sorry about
yeah.
that. Then, and when you mow, if you cut more than the 1/3 of the blade of grass, you're going to stress that grass. That's going to cause you to look at it and go, oh, I need to put a little more water on it, when in fact you've just cut too much.
Okay.
And so you keep those heights a little higher for those reasons.
Okay, Ben, well that's great. And so another question that comes up is the mower itself, whether it's electric or gas powered, you do recommend that people maintain the blade, the mower blade, right?
That's right. The mower blade, depending on the size of your property, if it's a residence, some people have big yards, but I recommend, or we recommend, 2 to 3 times a year, either sharpening it professionally or changing the blade out. And again, it's really about the size of the property. And if you don't do that, what you're going to end up with is a ripping of the grass instead of cutting it. And it's going to appear like your grass is brown. And therefore you're going to end up saying, well, what's wrong with my lawn, when you're actually just creating a situation by not keeping that blade sharp.
Because you've got a dull blade.
Yes.
Yeah. And I guess you can take that, there's a lot of places you could take the blade to have it sharpened professionally.
Yes,
Yeah.
you could. Most of the time it's just easier to change the whole blade. Change the blade, swap them out, put one on, take one to the shop, let them take their time.
Okay. So we're going to maintain that blade. And then another question that comes up for a lot of people is what to do with my mulch. So when I'm cutting the lawn or mowing the lawn, you know, it's going to produce mulch. It's going to produce clippings. So do I leave it or bag it? What do you recommend?
We always recommend trying to leave the clippings on the grass. If you've got a mulching mower, mulch them into the ground. If you don't cut off more than that 1/3, it's going to work pretty good. And that is also going to save you dollars because you're putting those clippings back in, and those nutrients are in those grass clippings.
So it's fertilizer.
It is a fertilizer, and I would say most people say that you could save up to 15% on your fertilizer bill. So you're saving money that way. And also what we don't want is the landfill to get filled up. So it's
With grass clippings.
That's right.
Yeah.
Something that is filling up quickly. So we're gonna save the city money, and which in turn saves the residents money. In the end, it's all about saving the water. You're gonna have that natural resource that we have, and it's valuable. So you're not gonna have to put as much water on if you'll follow these tips, and it's going to save you money all the way around.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Ben, for those pieces of advice on mowing your grass and keeping your your mower in tip-top shape. That'll do it for this edition of Bloomin' in the Branch. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next month with more advice just for you.